Hi guys, welcome to the Fighters channel. The head of the Matchroom Boxing promotion company Eddie Hearn is confident that the fight between his sport Anthony Joshua and the WBC heavyweight world champion Tyson Fury will certainly take place. According to Hearn, this confrontation is still relevant, so the fighters can share the ring at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. I think the fight between Joshua and Fury is still relevant. It's a confrontation that people still want to see. I promise you that this duel will take place. This will happen at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. I have no doubt that Fury and Joshua will meet in the ring, because this is too big a battle not to happen, Hearn said. Joshua is expected to have a rematch with the WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight world champion Alexander Usyk next spring, to whom he lost in September. As for Fury, he has to face the mandatory challenger for his title, Dillian White. The exact date of this match is also not yet available. Frank Warren, the promoter of the British heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, believes that his word could become a serious mentor after the end of his fighting career. Tyson helped Joseph Parker a lot before the rematch with Chisora. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyson eventually became a coach. Sooner or later, boxing ends for everyone, and he always needs to maintain at least some interest in life. I think he would make a great coach or manager, the functionary said. Early in an interview, Warren called the potential date of the fight between Fury and Dillian White, to which the latter's promoter Eddie Hearn immediately reacted, questioning this statement. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard, absolutely every day, and I need your support. Huge likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. The WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight world champion Alexander Usyk admitted that because of his political statements, he lost contracts with sponsors in Ukraine. I don't have advertising contracts in Ukraine, but we're communicating now. Sometimes they get more money from advertising contracts than from sports. I lost quite a lot of money because of my position, but I don't regret it. Money is probably the easiest resource that can be replenished, said Usyk. In the recent interviews, a promoter of the WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, Frank Warren, said that his word will hold the next fight on March 26. Eddie Hearn, the promoter of the mandatory contender for the Fury title, Dillian White, believes that this date already looks unrealistic and the fight will most likely take place in April or May. This date is starting to become unrealistic, especially for a fight of this magnitude. It may still be March, but I think April or May looks more realistic. It all depends on what happened this week, Hearn said. The promoter also said that there were still disagreements between the parties regarding the division of the fee. We are talking about big money right now. The difference between our requirements is 25%. The temporary champion should get up to 45%. We think that from the point of view of Dillian White's commercial value and the time he had to wait, the 18-20 fee split looks ridiculous. White will get a championship fight anyway, but we have to fight for his rights and make sure everything is fair, Hearn added. Last week, Tyson Fury suddenly exploded with a hide war against his compatriot Anthony Joshua, as well as Ukrainians Alexander Usyk and Vladimir Klitschko. The Gypsy King compared his achievements with what he has achieved and in what position AJ is now, unlike him, who has an ideal athlete's body. Often fans consider this behavior of boxers, not only Fury, but also others, as part of the show. This is necessary in order to fuel interest in the fights. Although the fighters themselves known that after the final gong of the 12th round, they will shake hands and express gratitude for the fight and the opportunity to cut money. But this is not always the case. And the explain of Joshua and Fury is indicative. The day before, AJ stated that the constant wave of hate and his direction from the Gypsy King caused him nothing less. Victory over Usyk. Joshua seriously and frankly admitted that Fury's taunts played a serious role in his choice of tactics for the fight against the Ukrainian. He wanted to throw off the label of a big hard bodybuilder, which the Gypsy King had hung on him, and show his tactical flexibility. There has always been a stigma that I don't know how to box, that I am such a big hard bodybuilder. So I said, cool, let me practice boxing. Joshua complained in an interview. I tried to practice boxing with Usyk and it didn't work. It doesn't look like he's playing along with Fury, you will agree. Joshua speaks frankly and it's clear that he has a grudge against his compatriot. Moreover, Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn made a similar statement. In an interview with DAZN, he is sure that Fury has already begun to prepare for his return to the ring and is waging war on all fronts, blowing in the training hall and destroying rivals psychologically in social networks. I think it's always a psychological war with Tyson Fury. He is good at getting into people's heads in battles, at press conferences, and now outside the camp. I think overall it means Fury is getting closer to combat mode. He is lighting himself up. Recently, the Gypsy King again broke out with a serious statement that Usyk will disassemble Joshua for spare parts in the upcoming rematch, and perhaps even knock him out. Joshua has enough fuel left to fight with Usyk. Next time, Usyk will crush him properly. He can beat him on points or knock him out. There is only one person on these shores who can defeat Usyk, and his name is Gypsy King, aka Tyson Fury. It seems that there really is a third party in the confrontation between Usyk and Joshua. And it's not referees, coaches or anyone else. Tyson Fury exerts no less pressure on Joshua than Usyk's punches. It's not the first time AJ has shown himself to be a mentally weak boxer. On eve of the most important fights of his career, this is a very bad sign for him against the big ground of opponents who are indifferent to such things. The WBA, IBF, WBO heavyweight world champion Alexander Usyk in an interview told about the reasons for the decision to fly to Moscow to fight Murat Gassiev. We could have refused the fight, but I would have had to pay a multi-million-dollar compensation under the contract. For 30 years, we were the first to combine belts in cruiserweight. No one has united for 30 years. After us, 4 people have already united. Terence Crawford united, then me, Taylor, now Canelo Alvarez. I'm not saying that we were provoked, but it hasn't happened for a long time. I went there, boxed, won, and airlift. That's it. If I said I was going, no one would work with me. Absolutely no one in the world would work. And they would have told me to return 10 million. Recall that Usyk also said that he lost a lot of money because of his position. Joshua has done everything that Usyk needs, and Usyk was much taller. I have a different relationship with boxers. I have a very good relationship with Usyk. Once upon a time I said that he was being pushed too fast and needed to slow down. When then had a friendly fight with him, and he said, "No, I'm being led slowly, but I have to do this." I have to admit that he was right. Although there are only nothing fights, and he's a champion in 2 weight categories, and what a champion, said Usyk's coach. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.